empty open amusement park. All right, guys, we are going in now just to show that we're not trespassing. This is literally the entrance to the park. Ghost Town. There's not even a ride attendant here. Like, you have the Tilt-A-Whirl here, Gravitron. Let's see if I'm tall enough to go on this. I wonder what happens if you wear like those platform shoes if they call you out. I always wanted to try that. Yeah, this whole area, as you can see, like literally nobody is in this park despite it being open. That's some cool photo ops right here. I'm sure if the park was popping, it'd be like a fun place to take pictures and stuff. This is the boardwalk area adjacent to the rides. You're able to go around here and play games when it's open. I mean, right now, just take a look at this. This is a complete ghost town here. All throughout the Kingsburg Park, nothing is actually open. We didn't even see a single person working, like a janitor or anything like that. Now, this park's been dying for a while. It's not like a hot spot. I just don't even know why it exists. It's such an awkward spot. But they do still have a lot of facilities. I mean, even up there, like, you'll see the Levels out, which is like a giant Broderick ride. You can hear some of the music, so there is life. People are definitely, like, here. They're just not out and about. This used to be my favorite ride, Moby Dick. Kind of, like, goes like that. It's like those butterflies in your stomach. It's so strange, though, being in a completely empty amusement park like this. And just free to roam around it as well. This is long-range basketball, where, you know, they cheat and they make the rims smaller and just harder so the balls bounce off of them. Just use your imagination as if I was playing. I think I made that in the edit. This is Machine Gun Alley. I think this is where you try to shoot the stars, which is also like a cheating game for them because they like, I think the paper like isn't strong enough or something for it to actually take the bullet through. We have really scuffed versions of characters. This is Elsa, which does not look like her at all. And then we have Mickey Mouse if he gained 10 pounds and some other popular IP like Pac-Man, looks like I drew it. And then actually Superman's not bad. I think this is, out of all 4 characters, this is the best drawn. No one's here. You can't even get a snow cone. No Dippin' Dots, nothing. Yet here we are just roaming around. I don't know how much it is for a ticket. 4 tickets, I think you can get like 20 tickets for $5, which means that 1 ticket is 25 cents. This is $1 to go on this ride basically, which actually all things considered is pretty decent value. But if you come here, it's not like you could go anyway. There's no ride operator. Like you can't even enter here. I'm not gonna like bust through and touch any of these rides by the way. And if you do end up coming here, just be respectful of the fact that it's semi-abandoned. The rides are still up and everything. Just nobody's here to actually operate them. Now this to me is crazy. In like a non-Six Flags park, having one of these mega rides that some like teenager for minimum wage is operating, it's never felt right. I don't know the last time this double shot was open, but it just feels very out of place to be in this type of amusement park. Like you couldn't pay me to go on this. It'd be like one of those live leak videos where people like fall through on it. Let's see what the hyper card is on this ride. Ooh. Again, I'm 6'7". It's kind of crazy that you have to be basically like 6'1" to get on this ride. This is 72, so about the 6-foot mark is right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I might even be 6'8" or whatever it is, but like you have to be pretty tall to go on the double shot. Okay, this is the cheapest ride so far. Not only in terms of the ticket price, it's 3 tickets, but also the look of it. I don't know what this is supposed to do. Look how rusted that ride is. That ride has probably not had maintenance done on it for 10 years, if I had to guess. One thing I noticed about this place is there is so much seating. Like there's just, we probably passed 100 benches so far just surrounding this, which is really nice if you bring your kids to this park, which again you can. But if you were, you could just like watch them as they go on their favorite rides and stuff. So it is quite nice. Oh, here we have the big guy, the Wave Swinger. So this is the swing, probably one of the more popular rides in any sort of park. Even the color theme of it just like looks abandoned. Like I could see this in about 10 years being like a huge spot for urban explorers as it stays up. Some overgrown grass and stuff. I can't understate how crazy it is that this is open and that nobody is in the park. Like I didn't, it's not like I organized like, hey, Kingsburg Amusement Park, I'm coming to film a video. Can I come walk through? This is open. We just walked through. Like we're able to technically access rides if there were people here, but nobody is here. So here's a roller coaster. This one is like, wow, you really gotta be tall. Cause it's like, yeah, look at me, like you have to be super tall to get on this ride. I don't know why. This looping coaster, which again, I doubt has been open for a very long time. This is, I guess, the main attraction here. Really not attracting anybody though. The grounds are not really maintained at all. I mean, it hasn't rained actually in probably 2 weeks and there's still puddles somehow. I don't know what that's about. The foliage and the trees are overgrown. Even some moss is starting to grow, as you can see on the swimming poles. It feels illegal to be this close to a roller coaster. Maybe this is why they ended up closing. Maybe like something happened because you get so nearby to these things. Oh, there's actually a different roller coaster than what we just looked at. So this one is maybe like more of a kiddie ride. There's no loop. Oh, this one has a loop. Yeah, that's kind of crazy. There's just these chairs with nobody in them, rusted and everything. If I was doing some forensics on this place, if I was like an archaeologist and I was trying to figure out the last time there was human life here, I would actually say multiple years. Like look at the weed situation here. These are not flowers or anything beautiful. These are just overgrown weeds that are just coming. This is one of the snack huts where I think typically they would be serving things, but literally nothing is in there. Alright, what can I get for you guys? Yep. Yeah, anything else? You ever see those guys when they're working, they like won't look at you in the eyes, they're just kind of like over here because they have like something better to do apparently, even though they're just making fries for your amusement park. Yeah, it's gonna be $25. Yeah, make up the prices because nobody's here. Okay. Yeah, get out of my. If you look around the hood here, there's paint yet. One ride tickets for 25 cents to go on those horses. And if you didn't believe it was abandoned just from walking around, there's actually rides, I think, being taken away slowly. So this ride is completely closed, amongst many other things. This spot is not only dead, it is completely barren and abandoned. Nobody, right? I mean, you guys can see maybe in the background we missed a person or something, but I didn't see anybody in here. This place is not open despite it being open. It literally says open, but clearly it's not. Or maybe it is. This is the parking lot. Zero cars here. Zero souls here. Yeah, I mean, here's another entry point right here, just to double confirm that this place is not closed. Because if it was, you'd have on the keep out, or you'd have some of these ropes just tied. But this is the second point in which you're able to enter and just go onto your favorite rides if you want. It even looks like we could basically go into this ride right now. Just a random speaker right here. I could go on the ride. Let's see if I can make it move. So the latch is locked on this ride, so I'm unable to actually go on it. I'm able to shake it a little bit. You see it moving, right? I'd probably get a couple people on here to shake this thing, probably give them a little bit of a ride. I don't want to break it. I feel this thing is definitely on its last leg. Every amusement park ride is so jank. Well, if there's no ride operator, I'll just do it myself. It's kind of fun. It's peaceful being here by my ride. Let's see if I can make it move. So the latch is locked on this ride, so I'm unable to actually go on it. I'm able to shake it a little bit. You see it moving, right? I'd probably get a couple people on here to shake this thing, probably give them a little bit of a ride. I don't want to break it. I feel this thing is definitely on its last leg. Every amusement park ride is so jank. Well, if there's no ride operator, I'll just do it myself. It's kind of fun. It's peaceful being here by myself. It would be nice if it was actually moving. I think this is actually the scariest ride in the park though, because you have no support and you are just flying in the air. They even have little shortcuts here, like this net is broken, so you can easily exit into this area and just see more abandoned games here. Also on the outside here, they have a batting cage you can technically use. I mean, I'll try to see if I can actually purchase something. I don't believe so though. Nobody's here. Let me just check. Nope, completely chained up. So if you guys were thinking of coming to the Keensburg Amusement Park, just know there's nothing for you to do here and you might as well leave. We're currently outside of Six Flags America. This is one of 43 Six Flags left in the entire world, and this is effectively a dead amusement park because this place is going to be closed in 4 weeks. So everything you're about to see in this next segment is going to be gone in demolition. So I'm really excited about this one. Apparently this place has been open for about 25 years. It's a regional theme park, so it's not necessarily a destination park with a ton of thrill rides or anything like that, but it does have its different theme sections. We're gonna go inside right now and see if there's a lot of people in here for one, and two, if anything's even open. And maybe we'll even see some ghost roller coasters going on. All right, so we're here walking through Six Flags America right now. They are decorated nicely for Halloween, which is cool. Even though they're going to be gone in a couple of weeks, they're still doing their best to get people in here. We got here right when it opened, and actually for Sunday, a couple of weeks before closing, there's a good amount of people here. I'd say like 100 people or so. It looks like the rides are working. I mean, I think there's a single guy and one girl on that ride, actually. That's gonna be low to just be the only person on the swings. So let's take a look around. Let's see what they got here. Let's see what's open. Let's see what's closed. And yeah, should be a good time. So this is Hurricane Harbor, which is Six Flags America Water Park. And this one is officially closed for good because now that it's closed for the season, it'll never open up again. So what you see down there is about to be demolition in probably the upcoming weeks or months. Yeah, it's very weird like walking around in a place that you know is not going to exist a couple of weeks or months from now. So even though it's early on, there's no lines here anywhere. So far the 3 rides that we saw have 0 people online, maybe 2 people online. It's a stretch. So if you do want to come on a roller coaster and have 0 lines, don't have to pay for a fast pass, this would be your spot. I'm just not sure how much is going to be open. I mean, immediately I'm already seeing a concession stand is closed. This Chop 6 is closed. At least it notes that they're closed. I'm guessing that that's their Chinese restaurant. I would have wanted to play this. I used to always see people play this, and I never believed that it was that difficult, but it's locked up and closed, so it looks like we can't play any games here. I will come back. Maybe it's going to open. And what's a dead amusement park without a disappearing restaurant inside of it? So we have Johnny Rockets here. Johnny Rockets is solid, but per the other video that I made in which I went to disappearing restaurants, they are plummeting. You can only find them really in like malls, theme parks, and like maybe certain boardwalks. It doesn't look like anybody's eating food right now, despite it being prime time for lunch, about 11:30, 12 right now. All right, let's maybe go into the meat of the park and we'll find a bit more because as soon as you walk in, at least, there's really not much going on. All right, we're on our first ride. We're actually on the teacups right now. There's one other family that's going on this. I can't remember the last time I was on the teacups. Must have been 20 years ago or something. But we're strapped in. We're ready to go. We're in the pink teacup. Let's see if this ride's any fun, and then maybe we'll advance up and do some other games and rides. I wonder at what point you could no longer bring a camera onto a ride. Because obviously roller coasters you can't, but this you can. So where's that inflection point where it becomes too difficult of a ride to stabilize and hold the camera? Where it becomes a risk. Now, do we twist or does it twist? Oh, it's actually kind of crazy. I wonder how this looks on camera because we are spinning right now. This is not a kid's ride. There's no way kids go on this. This is actually crazy. Dude, I'm going to get like motion sickness from the first ride, the teacups. Okay, I think it's slowing down now, which is good because I probably reached my limits of how long I can go in the teacups. All right, let's go to something more stable. Let's hit up Looney Tunes land. So Six Flags, kind of like Disney, they do have their own IP, but it's Looney Tunes. Maybe that's part of the reason why a lot of Six Flags are dying and having low attendance is mainly because the characters and the shows that they try to push haven't been on since 1960s. They have DC as well, so you'll see they have a Wonder Woman ride here. Six Flags Great Adventure, for instance, has like Batman ride. But even so, I think Marvel at this point pretty much has a good show pull on culture. But DC's kind of coming back, emerging a little bit, so maybe it needs to change. All right, now a lot of activity going on here. Talk about dead. This actually might be the most dead part of the park. What have we got? These are just like a bunch of kids rides, I think. Probably shouldn't even be here by myself walking around video recording. Let's just take a little bit of a lap. I think they have shows here at some point. It says please keep off stage. They have Monster Mash Bash and Wolfie's Halloween parts. Doesn't look like it's performing today though. Maybe because the park closes in less than a month. So let's keep it moving. This is for guests under 54 inches tall. So I'm actually not even allowed to go in there based on my size. It looks fun though in there. We're now entering Mardi Gras, which is another section. There are some people walking around here. We're gonna see if anything's open once again, just see what things are looking like. They do have the Raging Cajun, which is a pretty big ride. I don't know if, is that like King K. Rool? Is that who their mascot is for it? We're not allowed to bring the camera on, so I won't be going on that. But I'm gonna see like what's the biggest ride I can go on so we can still record it. They do have carnival games here. Some pretty big stuff too.
Hello, my friend.
Hey, how are you? What's going on? How much is this?
Well, this game right here.
Yeah.
This game, the new game actually for just $10. Now, all the cans off, you get yourself a large prize. One can left, you get a medium prize, and two cans left, you get a small prize.
So I have 6 total throws with $10 to get off all of them.
Not bad.
6 throws to get every single one. I don't want to throw it too hard. I want to just like be direct with things. Alright, that's bad. That's bad. I gotta go. Does that count as falling? The one that dropped? Yeah.
If it's still on the table, it doesn't count as falling in.
Colgate Active White's unique technology gives you a totally brighter smile in just 3 days.
However you look, first you kind of compare car rental sites and prices to find a great deal on exactly what you're looking for.
I'm going to tell you my biggest content creation secret. TikTok Studio is that girl for helping you reach your creator goals. It's made making content so much easier thanks to a new suite of editing tools, simple analytics, built-in ways to grow and track your performance. Try it today.
Everyone's gearing up for the holidays. In a Chevy.
Lowe's knows snow days don't end outside, so save now on Whirlpool washers and dryers to help tackle soap, coats, and slushy summer.
Okay.
But, now, with every pair of balls, that's a new game, it'll go to a new tower with that new game.
Wait, what? I thought I had 6 throws on the same one.
No, I don't think one. Yeah, it's like,
So I only got 2 throws for each game?
yeah, 2 girls for each game.
I wish I knew that beforehand. Alright, so I got 2, so I gotta sling out just the bottom here.
There we go, that's what I'm talking about.
Alright, let the roll happen. Oh, go. Okay.
Now you got yourself a small, but if you're not supposed to those cans off, you get the large. Not bad, though. That's still a medium. You did good. That's what I'm talking about.
Alright, it's locking again. Is it possible to one-shot it or no?
It's possible one time. I've seen it happen.
Okay, alright, so there's still some over here.
Hey, my dude, what up?
I'll take the pink boba, the pink lemonade boba.
Pink lemonade, boba. All right, my friend.
That's cute.
Everybody give a round of applause for our prize winner.
You're a little bit gypped. I thought I had 6 throws on the one. You know what? I'm happy with this medium prize. This is significantly better than the Rainbow Patrick I got in Atlantic City. So I'll take this. I'll give it to my fiance. It'll be a cute little gift, right? That's actually good value. $10 and I get a cute pink lemonade boba. All right, what do we got over here? Welcome to Mardi Gras. Okay, this is called the Big Easy. This roller coaster, I mean, look at this. Just tear it down right now. Just take down this whole ride right now. Something about an old wooden coaster makes me feel very uneasy and unsafe. You can't catch me going on this. This thing, like, look, we're underneath the tracks right now, and it looks like a bolt is gonna fall off at any second. It's called the Wild One. That's the name of this ride. Looks like the go-karts aren't operating today. They have a Squid Game vending machine here. Oh, they also have Poppy Playtime characters. Kind of niche. That's cool that they have that. I'm gonna try to get a Squid Game plush. Okay, here we go. Oh, this thing's sensitivity is so bad. No! You messed it up! No! That was the weakest grip ever. Even their wacky inflatable arm flailing tube men don't go upright. He's just like bowing to us right here. I don't even know if he has a face. He's not going up. I think he needs some help. Alright, I guess lights there broke. There's actually an empty ride going. So they're doing the roller coaster and letting it do a cycle, but nobody is in it as far as I can see. Yeah, it's just an empty ride. I think that's actually King K. Rool. Look at the front of the car. He's got the crown on, right? So they have, I guess, Nintendo licensing here. So we did Looney Tunes World. We did Mardi Gras. Now we're going to be heading over to some other unknown section of the park. We saw that Hurricane Harbor was closed. The main entrance, there wasn't much going on. Nobody's really on the rides. You just saw the ghost ride that we were looking at. Party Pavilion. You can't even have a party today. Sorry, this area has been rented for today. Who's it rented by? Clearly nobody. It looks even deader. More dead? Deader over here. I think I found their main attraction here. It's called Firebird. It looks pretty new, pretty modern, and actually does have a couple of people on it. So I think people who come to the park are ultimately looking to go on Firebird. And then right next to it is some sad Pirates Flight ride with nobody on it. We're gonna take it to Gotham City now. It's right up above here. It looks like there's a Superman Ride of Steel, Harley Quinn's Insanity, Joker's Jinx, and then a few other ones. Oh, and the Lasso of Truth, which is that really tall ride you saw. That's going to be in this area as well. So here's what this area looks like. Ghost Town once again. A couple of people though. Definitely more crowded part of the park here. There are a couple of games open as well. We have basketball there. But other than that, same story in this section. So this is the Harley Quinn ride, and right behind it is the Wonder Woman one. I'm not even sure if it's operating though, because I don't see anybody here. And then what is this? We have like a stadium or something here? Maximum capacity 3,000 people. So there must be seating for some sort of thing that happens there on the ground. A little arena maybe. Oh, this ride is crazy. It creates like that spinning centrifuge motion. That's like a shortcut to throwing out. So far, this is the ride that has the most people on it with a total of 6. Every roller coaster is just having like 1 or 2 people on the entire car. But the biggest ride in the park is this Superman Ride of Steel that we're going to be heading over to right now. And we're going to see if this has a bigger line. This one actually looks quite fun. Anybody can go on it. Alright guys, so it looks like nobody's on this ride either. It's actually a ghost town. There's ghosts on that ride just going through it. And as you can see, the ride is definitely open. Like there's no chains up or anything. It says due to the sourcing of parts, Superman will only operate 1 train for the remainder of the season. They're decreasing the frequency in which this goes, but you could still have people go on. There's actually people going on right now. So we're going past this roller coaster and realize there's a net here. I think it's to catch any loose articles that may fall off. So I'm guessing somebody's gonna do it with like a phone or something before, maybe sunglasses. I bet you I could get that if I threw out my boba thing and popped it out, but I don't want to dirty my boba. So even though it's closed, they're still putting on a kids boo fest, which is just like their Halloween fest for kids and stuff. And it is cute. They have like these giant blow up ghosts. They have like pumpkin painting activities, mazes and stuff. A lot of things for the kids. So if you do live in the MDVA area, or if you're just in the Mid-Atlantic area, you have a couple more weeks to check this out with your kids. Another ride with more ghosts on it, the Log Flume. I feel bad because right now it's nearing 1 o'clock and there's supposed to be a show here called like The Heist, and there's just nobody there. I think they're practicing maybe a little bit, have a whole set and everything, and nobody's lining up or showing up for it. It starts in 10 minutes too. Now we're entering Steamtown. Kind of poetic. It's a true ghost town in here. I don't know if these are meant to be open or if they're just like fake storefronts. I guess I'll try. Like, do we think this is an actual building? I guess not. These are all fake. They do have a ride here called the Steam Whirler that has about 6-7 people there. It's so weird how there are stores, but they're not open. Alright, we found bumper carts, but they're not operating. I wanted to just go on the bumper carts by myself. I mean, you can see what's going on in there, but nothing. And behind us is another roller coaster that actually does have some people on it, but only like 2. Let's find another section. Of course, no theme park is complete without trying their funnel cake, so I'm gonna go in and get a funnel cake to test if the food is still good despite them closing in 4 weeks. Maybe the chef's left already, now they just have like a bunch of teenagers cooking up funnel cakes, though it is a pretty simple thing to make. We'll see if this is any good. Thank you. Okay, here we go. So funnel cake at Six Flags America. This is the #1 thing they're known for as well. This thing was about 10, 12 bucks, and it's pretty big. It's like a thicker funnel cake, and they douse this thing with powdered sugar. This is like extremely unhealthy, but I'm going to take a bite of it. It's very crispy. It might be too hot even to take a bite of it right now. Oh, it's not the worst thing to spill down yourself. As I took that bite, I realized that every single funnel cake tastes the same. It's just fried dough with sugar on top. Nothing special. Would I get it again? No. Am I glad I got it? No. But when in Rome, right? And Rome is fallen. And Rome is fallen. Alright guys, so that's Six Flags America. We just did an entire walkthrough of the place. It's definitely dead, especially given that it's a Sunday. But nonetheless, they're keeping things alive. They got some different things going on. I got a funnel cake. I got my Squishmallow right here. So I'm happy. I'm leaving with some things. It was generally pretty cheap. I think it was $29 per person plus $35 for parking, which actually is a little bit of a scam. But overall, I don't hate this place. It is sad to see it go. Any local Six Flags going down. It was 1 to 43. Yeah, what's going on, man? So with that being said, let's move on to the next spot. So this is the Gingerbread Castle. We are in Hamburg, New Jersey. This thing used to be a staple amusement park of Northwest Jersey until it was ultimately abandoned sometime about 45 years ago. Interestingly, this place was built in the 20s, so this has been around for almost 100 100 years now. It's pretty cool because everything around it is completely abandoned. It is owned by a private owner now, so you can't actually go inside. But as we walk around this place, you're going to notice a lot of cool, interesting things, specifically the castle, which I'm really excited to go up to. So there it is, the gingerbread castle. This is, I guess, like a lake that used to exist here. Right now, there's nothing in it. It looks like a really fun place for children to come, a little bit of a theme park. I think that's Humpty Dumpty on the wall over there. So everything is like kids themed. It's like nursery rhymes and stuff. It took a lot of inspiration from Hans. Actually, it's a little bit of a scam, but overall, I don't hate this place. It is sad to see it go. Any local Six Flags going down. It was 1 to 43. Yeah, what's going on, man? So that being said, let's move on to the next spot. So this is the Gingerbread Castle. We were in Hamburg, New Jersey. This thing used to be a staple amusement park of Northwest Jersey until it was ultimately abandoned sometime about 45 years ago. Interestingly, this place was built in the 20s, so this has been around for almost 100 years now. It's pretty cool because everything around it is completely abandoned. It is owned by a private owner now, so you can't actually go inside. But as we walk around this place, you're going to notice a lot of cool, interesting things, specifically the castle, which I'm really excited to go up to. So there it is, the Gingerbread Castle. This is, I guess, like a lake that used to exist here. Right now, there's nothing in it. It looks like a really fun place for children to come, a little bit of a theme park. I think that's Humpty Dumpty on. So there it is, the Gingerbread Castle. This is, I guess, like a lake that used to exist here. Right now, there's nothing in it. It looks like a really fun place for children to come, a little bit of a theme park. I think that's Humpty Dumpty on the wall over there. So everything is like kids. That's like a lake that used to exist here. Right now, there's nothing in it. It looks like a really fun place for children to come, a little bit of a theme park. I think that's Humpty Dumpty on the wall over there. So everything is like kids themed. It's like nursery rhymes and stuff. It took a lot of inspiration from Hansel and Gretel, that nursery rhyme. So that's why there's dragons. That's why there's that cool castle right there. That's why there's a well. That's why you can basically see all these different things here. So across from Gingerbread Castle is Wheatsworth Mill, which is the general mill area that this amusement park was kind of attached to. And even that is like completely dilapidated and broken down now. You can see a bunch of graffiti, broken glass, and then out there in the distance, just even more rust and just infrastructure that has crumbled. So this place, unfortunately, is like truly abandoned and probably on its last legs. I wouldn't be surprised if by the time you watch this video, this place is completely leveled and decimated, but it is a cool little time capsule. You don't really see 100-year-old amusement parks like this anymore, but it is in really bad shape. There's just a couple of cool things that are kind of surviving. In addition to the Gingerbread Castle and surrounding amusement park being abandoned, literally right across from it is an entire abandoned house that's also boarded up. I don't know who lives in there, but it is completely boarded up with wood. It is for sale. It's listed right there. There's a post on the front lawn. Maybe I'll buy it, then I'll revitalize the amusement park across the street if you subscribe. If I'm at 20 million subscribers after this video, I will purchase that castle and then you guys can visit it for free. Anybody who is subscribed right now. So go. Okay, goodbye now. Next segment. We're currently in the middle of nowhere in West Milford, New Jersey, because we were checking out Jungle Habitat, which 50 years ago in the 70s was abandoned. It was owned by Warner Bros., but it was like a safari-based, fun, kid-based theme park that, like I said, existed in the 70s. This is the entire parking lot, which is really cool to see completely abandoned like such. There's even more parking lots that go all the way down there. That's because this place was packed to the brim with a bunch of attendants. I guess who lived in Northwest Jersey. This was like their big Six Flags / Disney World, but now it is completely barren. It's very hard to get here. You had to like go through a trail, like a 20-minute walk, so it definitely rewards those who are fit to come see this. Nonetheless, we're about to go inside because there are apparently a couple of attractions that are still up. They're probably just like dilapidated structures. I think there's a ticket booth and maybe one other thing, but the parking lot is really cool to see. You don't really see just an empty lot like this anymore in the middle of just nowhere. So let's go ahead and see if we can find anything inside this abandoned amusement park. So this is the entrance. I think there used to be maybe a tunnel here that people would walk into straight from the parking lot, and then they would approach up here, and this would be completely flattened back then. And there's apparently a ticket booth, which makes sense naturally, somewhere around here. So let's go ahead and search for that. Hopefully nobody's living in that. Let's see. So nothing yet. There is this huge area kind of breakouts into here. What is this? This might be another parking lot? Or maybe this is where some stuff originally was, but I see some of the parking lot, and so it makes me think that this is also a parking lot. If you go a little bit deeper in there as well, what do we got? Just more nothingness. Just a vast lot here as well. I'm really not seeing any structures, and I've been looking pretty hard. We've been walking for about 25 minutes throughout this area, and I don't know if this ticket booth actually exists. Maybe I was just sent here for a different reason. I do see some yellow tape over there, so there's human activity happening. I don't know what they're necessarily hiding. I'll give it a quick peek, otherwise we'll keep walking. If we don't find something, we don't find something. You know, we are on the grounds of an abandoned amusement park, but not necessarily going to be finding something here. Doesn't look like anything significant is behind this tape. Let's just keep walking. Okay, so the first thing I'm finding is a fallen telephone pole with possibly active wires. That is extremely dangerous. I probably shouldn't be super close to that, but that is here. So maybe they used to power, you know, some of the telephone lines that were in the park, but nowadays that thing is just decimated. Like I said, pretty dangerous. So let's move away from that. Still moving. Wait a second. What is this? So there's a little fenced area. Still caution tape. What's back here though? This has to be part of the park. I think I see like a house back there. It's chained up and everything, so you can't actually go in. I think if you sneak around, you'll see like a little bit of the house. Alright guys, it's not looking too good, but the last thing I did find, because it's starting to get dark and there are like a lot of animals here because we are in the northwest of New Jersey with mountains and stuff, so being cognizant of bears and stuff, we do want to get out of here before it's dark. But you'll notice there's barbed wired fencing right here, which means that all the animals, as far as the jungle habitat, are somewhere in here. So I don't know what types of animals you could find in there, but the ones that I think that they would harness for the amusement park ultimately are right behind this barricade right here. But yeah, that thing is completely barbed, which makes me think that there's definitely some, at least black bears, probably as like the highest level predator that you'll find in these forests. Maybe that's why they ended the amusement park. There's probably like bears going up to people and stuff, which is pretty commonplace in New Jersey, especially North Jersey. This is what we got.
All right, guys, well, that was a lot of fun and also quite sad to see the state of some of these amusement parks. Nonetheless, very interesting.
Move on to the next spot. So this is the Gingerbread Castle. We are in Hamburg, New Jersey. This thing used to be a staple amusement park of Northwest Jersey until it was ultimately abandoned sometime about 45 years ago. Interestingly, this place was built in the 20s, so this has been around for almost 100 years now. It's pretty cool because everything around it is completely abandoned. It is owned by a private owner now. Castle. This is, I guess, like a lake that used to exist here. Right now, there's nothing in it. It looks like a really fun place for children to come. A little bit of a theme park. I think that's Humpty Dumpty on the wall over there. So everything is like kids themed. It's like nursery rhymes and stuff. It took a So it's abandoned. It was owned by Warner Bros, but it was like a safari base. Currently in the middle of nowhere in West Milford, New Jersey, because we were checking out jungle habitat, which 50 years ago in the 70s was abandoned. It was owned by Warner Bros, but it was like a safari-based, fun, kid-based theme park that, like I said, existed in the 70s. This is the entire parking lot, which is really cool to see completely abandoned like such. There's even more parking lots that go all the way down there. That's because this place was packed to the brim with a bunch of attendants. I guess we lived in Northwest Jersey. This was like their big Six Flags / Disney World, but now it is completely barren. It's very hard to get here. You have to like go through a trail, like a 20-minute walk, so it definitely rewards those who are fit to come see this. Nonetheless, we're about to go inside because there are apparently a couple of attractions that are still up. They're probably just like dilapidated structures. I think there's a ticket booth and maybe one other thing, but the parking lot is really cool to see. You don't really see just an empty lot like this anymore in the middle of just nowhere. So let's go ahead and see if we can find anything inside this abandoned amusement park. So this is the entrance. I think there used to be maybe a tunnel here that people would walk into straight from the parking lot, and then they would approach up here, and this would be completely flattened back then. And there's apparently a ticket booth, which makes sense naturally, somewhere around here. So let's go ahead and search for that. Hopefully nobody's living in that. Let's see. So nothing yet. There is this huge area kind of breakouts into here. What is this? This might be another parking lot? Or maybe this is where some stuff originally was, but I see some of the parking lines, so it makes me think that this is also a parking lot. If you go a little bit deeper in there as well, what do we got? Just more nothingness. Just a vast lot here as well. I'm really not seeing any structures, and I've been looking pretty hard. We've been walking for about 25 minutes throughout this area, and I don't know if this ticket booth actually exists. Maybe I was just sent here for a different reason. I do see some yellow tape over there, so there's human activity happening. I don't know what they're necessarily hiding. I'll give it a quick peek, otherwise we'll keep.
That I got to go. But with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. If you want to see more content, be sure to click here. Otherwise, subscribe and we're out, and I'll see you next time. Peace.
For people with eosinophilic esophagitis or EOE, treat your EOE.
Previously on this channel, I went all across New Jersey and found the most abandoned and dead malls I could find, and I investigated them pretty thoroughly by going into the actual backrooms of them, which I probably shouldn't have done, and just assessing the state of them and seeing what stores were open and what stores were closed. And you guys seem to have loved that because thousands of you have messaged me since saying, Sam, you have to go to this mall in Delaware, and this mall in Maryland, and this mall in New York. Well, guess what? I'll be going to them all. This time it's going to be bigger and better, and a lot of these malls are a lot crazier than the first one. So I'm really excited to explore these, and I hope you are too, and we have a lot to get to. So without further ado, grab your popcorn and let's do this.
We're currently at the Marley Station Mall in Glen Burnie, Maryland, and this mall, out of every single abandoned mall I've ever been to, has the worst reviews online. I think it has a 3.7 out of 5 stars, and every single of the recent comments says dead mall, ghost mall, rats everywhere when you walk around the food court. So I'm thinking, what is going on in here? So of course I had to check it out. The story of this mall is that at one point there were 137 stores inside, and then once all the anchor stores went away, like Macy's, Sears, Boscov, they actually ended up putting data centers inside, which is also interesting to check out. The mall just completely collapsed. It had bad management, this, that, and the other. Now the place is a dump, and apparently there's literally nothing inside. So I'm excited to see this. So let's go inside. Literally, as we're about to enter this mall, the first thing we see is that the door is out of order. Please use another door. Thank you, mall management. Hopefully these are open. Every single door is open. So this is the only door you can enter from. This property is monitored by security cameras. They should be monitoring the traffic into your store. It even has the flickering LED lights up top. Oh no, this is gonna be bad. I'm really excited about this one. You can hear the echoing of my voice. Definitely a little bit of action, so there's certainly some people here, but when you think of a dead abandoned mall, I mean, this is it. It's picturesque. So this is the center of the mall. It even has that old like 1990s rug, and then it even has an elevator too. An iconic elevator that I am positive isn't working, but I am going to try to go in to see if it works. I was going to do a gag where I just go up in the elevator, but as expected, sorry for the inconvenience, out of order. So just to be clear, we've walked maybe 100 steps, 5 of the 6 doors are out of order, and the elevator is out of order. And every single store is out of order, including the one directly behind us, which I don't even know what was here, but they do have a window. And it looks like you can kind of sneak in and go inside, which I'm not going to do, because we're not going to trespass, but dead, just so dead. They have some interesting stores here. So they have an I Got Next toys and game store where you can play retro games with your friends, which is fun. And then I doubt this is still open, because I read online it's closed, but you see the Sears there, the department store. Usually an abandoned Sears like this doesn't really keep, especially the lights on the sign. But this one does, which is kind of magnificent, but if you do look inside, there's nothing there. I want to go right up to the Sears, but that's kind of cool to see a Sears completely empty. So here's the Sears. Yeah, like the light is still on for the Sears. There's of course no Sears left in the world. They've all went bankrupt. I think as of 2021 was the last Sears. If you've never been inside of a Sears because you're too young, you weren't really missing out on too much. Kind of like a combination of maybe like a Lowe's, but then they also had like some department store Macy's-ish things to them. Honestly, they're pretty cool overall, but clearly nobody cares about them enough because nobody went and they ended up dying. Actually looks like the back rooms in there. So many lights are on them. They still have a children's play area too, so if you do want to walk the mall because you're going to one of the few stores that's open, there's the possibility for your children to play, which is nice, which is different than some other malls, because this is very abandoned, but there are still some signs of life, I'd say, particularly in the play area, and then the abandoned stores still have their signage. Also behind me is an unattended jewelry store. Like if I were a thief, which I'm not, this is ripe for the taking. Just kidding, don't do that. Let's go up the stairs here, because I don't see an escalator working, so I think it's just the stairs. Is this the elevator or the stairs, right? There's 2 ways to be. I'm not. This is ripe for the taking. Just kidding. Don't do that. Let's go. Purely in the play area, and then the abandoned stores still have their signage. Also behind me is an unattended jewelry store. Like if I were a thief, which I'm not, this is ripe for the taking. Just kidding. Don't do that. Let's go up the stairs here. I don't see an escalator working, so I think it's just the stairs. Is this the elevator or the stairs, right? There's 2 ways to go up and down. We're going up. Top floor has nothing open. Alright, we're gonna play a game. We're gonna see how long it takes to find a store that's open. Closed, 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 closed. On the other side, closed, 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 closed. I actually don't think there's a store that's open on this top floor. I thought the bottom floor was bad. The top floor has nothing. Oh, as I say that, what do we got here? Oh, it's closed. But it's not closed. It's just closed maybe for the day, or maybe they're ramping up to close. But Carnage Gaming and Kicks, you can technically go in if it were open. They have a TV playing even though nobody's in the store. What is a dead mall if it doesn't have these massage chairs? They're always just incredibly uncomfortable. They're never just comfortable to sit in. And this one's sticky too, so let's not sit in this too long. This would be a great mall to just rent out and have just like an entire haunted attraction, which you just walk around and there's maybe like zombies and stuff grabbing you, coming and emerging from the stores. You have like inmates like banging on the stores. So there are escalators, but it looks like only one of them is working. And then we have the exit right here. 2 doors. Which way do I do? Authorized persons only or emergency exit? Surprise, they both lead to the same exact place. Alright, we have once again emerged in the back rooms of the mall. So this is the Marley Station back rooms. We went here at the Livingston Mall. This is gonna be the same exact thing, only worse, because there's literally nothing here. I don't know what I'm expecting to see in here, but at least at the other mall's back rooms, there's some stuff that you can interact with. This is just empty. This mall has been dying for a very long time. Let's check out the janitorial closet. It's closed. Locked. It's starting to get dark back here. The lights start to go down a bit. This is a service elevator. Alright, I want to find one door that we can open. Every door is locked up. Why? Just let me explore, right? It's been closed for 10 years. What's the hope? Nothing is open. We can't even like pop into a store. That's like the outside of the mall. This is the final door in the back rooms, and you can't even get in. Alright, we're gonna get out of here. Okay, we found the exit, so let's go back into the mall. And this time I want to check out the food court and see if the movie theater is still up. Escalator's not working, so it's just going to be stairs basically. So we're going to go down because the food court is that way. It's actually quite peaceful here. Looks like an abandoned amusement park in here. Like an arcade, lots of different arcade games, a very small merry-go-round. So I think we reached the food court, but there might just be a single restaurant called China Bowl. Oh, I gotta get something, right? The last remaining restaurant in a food court must mean it's good, right? They're staying open, it means people are eating it. Alright, so just got the food, really sweet lady in there. I was able to get my sriracha garlic chicken and rice. This is what it looks like. Looking good. Behind me, you'll see some empty refreshments, no vending machines working there, and then closed stores, of course. So I went ahead and got a water here. Deer Park is like the worst water though. It is what it is. So let's dive into this. Beforehand though, I do want to see my wants on, see what my fortune is. Stay open to new opportunities that come your way, which means if we see a door, I will be walking through it. Alright, let's do this. I've never actually had bad Chinese mall food. It's always just pretty solid across the board. I see why they're staying open. It's just a safe bet. You go to the mall, you know you're gonna get some good greasy chicken, some solid fried rice, call it a day. So we just had an idea. I'm gonna go to the mall management office, and if somebody is in there, I'm going to ask them if I'm able to purchase the Sears signs. If I can get that, that would be legendary. So let's see if we can find somebody who maybe could facilitate this transaction. Are we able to get our hands on like some of the signs and stuff for stores that are not used? I think the Sears one would be like the ideal one.
Sears technically is still owned in portion.
Oh, really? Okay. So apparently Sears still owns that building, which means that they don't want to actually give away anything that's part of it, which is weird. They still have a lease on that, considering they don't have an operating store. But nonetheless, I'll try to reach out. I'll see what the mall manager says. I don't think it's too likely, but hey, at least we got somewhere with it. So I found the data center. It's called AI.net, but it says this is protected property, so no trespassing. So I'm not going to attempt to go inside because they do have me stopped in my tracks here. There also might be some interesting data going on being processed in this data center. Who knows what? Maybe ChatGPT, OpenAI run their entire servers through this spot. Remains to be seen, but we won't be seeing today. But it is cool that they have like a transformed data center where they used to be, I think, a Boston. Alright, so that's Marley Station Mall. Extremely abandoned. I definitely trust those Google reviews. They were not lying when they said that place was a ghost town. Basically, every single store was closed with the exception of like JCPenney and then like that one Chinese restaurant in the food court. Really wild in there. It's only gonna get crazier though, so let's move on to the next abandoned mall. Alright guys, we're currently out of East Point Mall in Baltimore, Maryland, and this one might just have the funniest Google reviews yet. So it has 3.6 stars out of 5, and some stuff it says, these are some of the recent ones, rats are running around all over the mall, haunted place with 3 emojis there, and then this place has gone to... There's also been a lot of videos online of this place being a complete dump on the inside, so I'm really excited to see this one. It might just have the worst reviews yet, so let's go inside. It's kind of like a fusion of a mall and a strip mall, because right outside of it, you have all these random like Latin markets, jazz liquors, but then you also have just a classic mall when you go inside. And it just looks super run down. I mean, just look at the bollards here, look at some of the trash there. But the moment of truth. Let's enter in here, let's see how dead it is, and let's see if we can find any rats. So this mall is conventionally dead, so there's just not a lot of people in here, I'd say is the big thing about this. I do think there's going to be rats. Actually, in fact, I won't leave here until I find a rat. It's one thing when the stores are closed, but when we have the kiosks closed as well, that's a sign that there's not a lot of good stuff happening here. We do have some people because it's a Sunday, so as expected. I mean, there's stores open, like there's a Foot Locker right here, but overall, I'd say about like 70% of stores are open, so there's still a good amount that aren't. So maybe here, there could be a rat. This looks like an old Annie Ann's. Oh, I actually see a mouse trap. There's a couple of mouse traps that are active back there. So the reviews are true. So at the very least, we know that they are running around, because otherwise why would you have mouse traps? I have a good feeling about finding one in here. It's like Squid Game in here. There's some more rat traps we do know they're around here, because otherwise why would you have all this trash? Oh my gosh, look how many mouse traps are here. They have a rock wall right here that you could climb, but nobody's monitoring it. And then this just seems like a waste of space down here. It's just like an open area. The mall is up there, there's 2 levels, but this is just some random basement, I think just where management is, and then I guess restrooms and stuff, creepy hallway. All right, well, let's bring it up and take it to the level after this. We'll go to the second level. They have these animal rides here. I already did them already, but these look significantly dirtier than the ones that I was on. It's a Woodbridge mall, I believe. Leather's torn up, some dirt here. I will not be going on these. They are fun though. They're actually a really fun time. So outside of the mall, there is this one closet right here. I don't know what's going on with it, but it looks like there are some openings at the bottom. So potentially, this is probably where the rat would be. This is probably my last attempt at finding one though. Otherwise, we're gonna probably have to give up on the rat search and take it to the next mall. With that being said, let's see. Oh, there is a massive daddy long way. But unfortunately, no rat. Well, it was a good effort. Let's move on. So outside of the mall, we have some more abandoned stores. I don't know what this one could be. So it says Tempur-Pedic. So this may be a very rare mattress firm that no longer exists, which you never really see. If anybody can make out what that sign is, it looks like a square and then 2 lines of text. Actually, I think you can read it. The Value City Furniture. I'm gonna look up like Value City Furniture. That would be an insane pull if I got that. I can confirm that that was a Value City Furniture of VCF, and now it is completely gone. But I think even cooler outside of this abandoned mall is an abandoned bowling alley. As you can see there's some pins and stuff. I don't know what the name of this was, but at this point, nobody can go inside. So Michael was able to get on the inside a little look at what's happening in the abandoned bowling alley. It looks like there's just some room with nothing going on in there. There's a little bit of graffiti in there, and then there's some holes for rats. That's basically what you'd expect in an abandoned bowling alley. Okay guys, we're currently outside of the Exton Square Mall. This mall is actually about to be demolitioned in about 2 or 3 weeks. There's a group called the Abrams Group. It's a realty group that bought this entire mall because it's completely abandoned now with just a few anchor stores like Boscov's to the left of me. But this mall is on its last legs. It's actually now a medical group. Half of the building is turned into a medical group. They're building apartments and stuff around here. But the rest of this mall, I mean, I'm not even sure we're able to enter it. We're gonna try our best. I saw some videos and this place looks actually like a complete ghost town with nobody inside. So let's go inside. This is the bridge to get there. But I'm already seeing a couple of signs on the door. Hopefully it doesn't say that they're closed or something. Otherwise we're gonna have to find a different way to get inside. Alright, the good news is it says doors open 10 a.m. and a door is actually open right here. So we're going inside. I mean, just from the first little section, it looks like completely empty. I don't even hear anybody. They do have the escalators running, but boy, they were right. There is nothing inside of here. Brandywine Robotics? They have a robotics store. It's like at some point they were trying to be like cutting edge and doing some cool stuff, but this obviously is closed now. I think we're legitimately the only people in this mall. This is really bad. There is nobody inside of here. When people said this mall was closed, I didn't realize everything is closed. Because usually at that mall, we have about like 10% of the stores operating. There is not a sound. Like I can't hear anything. If I had to guess, this was probably a Champs at some point. It's not anymore. Even the gumballs are running low. There's a couple of empty bubblegum gumball stuff. This must have been a while in the making. I hear somebody. There's actually some light. It's 2 people. I don't know what they're doing. Oh, there's an AT&T store. This might be like the only store that's actually open. That's probably the worst job, just working in a dead mall, knowing you're the only person in the mall for most of the time. But I think we found the only employee in the mall working at AT&T. Otherwise, I mean, this is actually open. There's a bunch of boxes. Maybe they're starting to pack up their stuff because their lease is over and they just want to get all their inventory out of there. Who knows? We're actually approaching the food court now, though, which you'd expect to be a little bit lively. I see a Chick-fil-A in the distance, but actually it's Sunday, which means that's not open anyways, and neither is anything else, I think, because there is nobody in this food court. There is legit nobody in this food. I'm so surprised, because usually in a dead mall, like I said, like you'll have like 100 people or something throughout the mall. Nobody there. There is just one restaurant that's open. I actually want to check them out. Maybe I'll buy something from them because I feel bad. I'm sure nobody has bought anything from them all day. Let's walk through this and maybe purchase something if they're open from there. So the only place open is a place called India Corner that serves only vegetarian Indian food. I got something called pani puri. I don't even know what it is. It looks like a samosa of some sort. So excited to get that. I can't believe how dead this mall is and how this is even 1% open. Pretty cool spot. Honestly, I recommend coming here if you actually want to see a true dead mall. This is by far the most dead mall that I've seen. And we've been to like 15 of them at this point. So here we have it. This is quite literally the last thing you can order to eat at this mall. So if you're starving and you need something very badly in your stomach, this is basically the only thing you can get. Yeah, it's good. I also like Indian spices, like the tamarind and stuff. I'm gonna finish this up, and then I'm gonna walk to the other side of the mall, because there's starting to be a little bit of activity. I think, 3 total people now, including some roommates now next to us at the table. So I'm gonna finish this up, and we're gonna continue looking at this crazy mall. All right, continuing onward, and just the story of this mall is just the same everywhere. Nothing. They do have a mini melts machine though. I'm curious if this is stocking any inventory. All right, let's give it a try. Let's see if it has anything in it. Please select a product. Let's go B2. Oh, they're in there. How does this device work? Does it just like suck it up? So it's like a claw machine. Are they gonna drop it from that height? Okay, cool. So even in a completely abandoned mall, you can get some ice cream from the Mini Melts machine. I'm actually impressed because a lot of the other vending machines, like the Coca-Cola machine, the gumball machine, all those things are typically always empty. But in this case, Mini Melts, good to go. I don't know if this used to be like an Annie Ann's or some sort of stand for food, but this also is not only empty, but also accessible. Looks like you can just like flip around and do it, go into that employees only section. So I'm back here. If you work at one of these places in a mall, you know what this looks like back here. I've never been back here, so it's kind of cool to see. I'm able to see what's back here as well. Now that's locked, but there are a lot of mouse traps on the floor here. So I think that means that there's definitely some rats that are scurrying around. I mean, why wouldn't there be? This is a great place to exist. Let's move on. So the sign above says Macy's this way, but this Macy's is not this way. In fact, on the door here, it says this location is now closed. Find everything that we have at this new location, and you can actually peek inside of there, and you can see that there's just nothing. Michael just realized, oh, I think that's it though. We could actually maybe get inside of this Macy's by just sneaking in there. Let's do a little bit of scan to see where people are at, and then we'll see if we're able to get in there. Oh, keep going, keep going, keep going. What is this? Oh, no video? Okay. Alright, so that does it for the Expo Square Mall. That was one of my favorite abandoned malls I've ever been in, just because of how deserted it was throughout everywhere. There was a couple of things open, so we had the Indian food. I got to have my mini melts right here. We almost got into the Macy's, which would have been a lot of fun, but it has security barriers just walking, so we couldn't film or anything. Plus, the mall is actually closing pretty soon, so ultimately I don't think we were able to get in. But very cool mall, live in the area, definitely cool to check out. Otherwise, let's move to the next one. We're currently in Baltimore, Maryland at Security Square Mall. This is one of the largest malls in the area, and at one point it was huge. It had anchor stores like Macy's and Sears, but now even the Macy's, because usually you see a lot of the Sears disappearing, even the Macy's and all the anchor stores are gone, which just leaves just a couple of stores on the inside. A lot of the reviews say that the stores inside of here aren't really popular brand names, so nothing like that would be a huge draw for somebody to kind of come in. Instead, it's a bunch of random mom and pop shops and stores that you've never heard of. I feel like I'll probably know a good amount of them, but that's the big hit on this place. So it's not dead conventionally because there's decent occupancy in this mall, but nobody basically has a clue of what the stores are. Let's go inside and fact check that. There's also not that many cars here. There's maybe like a cluster of like 40 total cars. The rest of the parking lot is just completely empty. So with that being
Because I saw a lot of going to men's warehouse and suit with special fabric on the shelf next to the breeze, it keeps me cool.
Pets.com helps me find a place I never want to leave. And neither do my friends. Find your place on apartments.com.
Everyone's gearing up for the holidays. In a Chevy of their choice. And it all comes together in the Chevy.
Gifts, decorations. How will we afford the holidays?
what are those? Being said, let's go inside. Now the big hit on this place is that all the stores are no-name stores, so there's not a lot of brand recognition. And when you walk in, it's pretty apparent. You see Party Razzle, Shoe Repair, and then the newsstand. So let's go a little bit further and see. Here we have the closed Macy's here. That's a little seating area as well. In case you want to relax, come to this mall for whatever reason. Maybe you really have to go to Storm. Maybe it's your favorite store. You have to just pop in, just wait outside and just sit here. Hey, they have a little carousel as well. Unfortunately, it's cash only, and it says children 12 and under allowed on ride. Unfortunately, means I can't get on this puppy of the source. I've never seen a post office in a mall, but there is one here apparently. There are a lot of kiosks in this mall. All throughout the center, you'll see a ton. Outside of that, though, just a good amount of store closures. Nothing too crazy. This isn't the most abandoned dead mall I've seen thus far, but I would not call this mall very active. This mall stinks. This might be, in terms of just like the quality of the average store, the worst. Because it looks like if stores are closed, then it's like, alright, it is what it is. But if I was coming here with the expectation to shop and get some good stuff, I would be severely disappointed. I guess that businesses have to run in certain places, but at a mall, you would expect to have some brands. Not a single one, outside of some of the fast food joints. I don't know what this is at the middle of the mall, but this wing of the mall is dead. I mean, just take a look, there's nobody here. But the story of this mall is definitely the stores that are here. So there's like games in the mall. It looks like there's money taped. Is that real money? It is. How is that legal? This is straight up gambling in the mall. It says it's only $1 a play. Oh, I don't have $1. Do I? Let me check. I just got a 5. Oh, it accepts 5s. Okay. I know I'm wasting my money right now, but I'm gonna do it anyways. so I have to line up with the red. Come on, baby. Alright. Wait, I have to get it perfectly there? That's actually not possible. This is just a waste of money. Alright, I'm gonna get this one. You ready? This is the round. This is the round. It's gonna be a little short. Short. Oh my gosh. It's arbitrary. There's no way this is legitimate. It's programmed. This is my last try though. Come on, come on. Bro. There's no, what are the odds I got that 3 times in a row? Game is a scam, of course it is. This mall sucks. That security station mall, this place is an absolute dump. I couldn't name a single store that we were looking at. But let's get out of here and move on to the next mall.
Now, one of the most disappointing parts about going through these dead and abandoned malls is that you can't shop for anything. I mean, for instance, if you want to get your hands on a Nintendo Switch 2, where are you going to get it? There's no store that's open. But luckily for you, I will be giving away a Nintendo Switch 2 to one of you guys today, all thanks to this video sponsor, Whatnot. So to enter, you're going to sign up for Whatnot using my link in the description or the pinned comment, and then spend some or all of the $15 credit that you get. To enter for free though, you can just comment your Whatnot username below, but why not just spend the $15 free credit that you get for signing up for Whatnot using the link in the description or the comment, and it will double your chance of winning the giveaway. And if you don't know what Whatnot is, it's an app where you can buy and sell literally anything. So for instance, I mean personally I'm a big fan of electronics and certain collectible items like Pokemon cards, but what's great is that Whatnot has those and then so much more, ranging from shoes, to jewelry, to designer bags, to even toys, including Labubu's and so much more. There's literally something for everybody. So for the Nintendo Switch 2, for instance, here you go. You can buy it now and just arrives obviously in perfect shape. But you can also bid an auction on certain items as well. So for instance, I mentioned Labubu's, so we would click into this live right here. Oh, that's cool. Okay, and then there's the bidding. So I'm going to enter a custom bid here. Let's go up with like $15. And just like that, sold. So as you can see, I was the winner of that one. And then I mentioned Pokemon cards as well. So Insane Slab Heat. So slab 275. Let's just go ahead and bid on this. Looks like an active bid already. And I'm winning the bid, just like that. So everything I just purchased plus more. And then of course the Nintendo Switch 2 is available as part of this giveaway. Again, to enter, sign up for Whatnot using the link in my description or the pinned comment. And you have to spend some or all of your $15 credit that you get. To enter for free though, you can just comment your Whatnot username below. But again, why not spend the $15 free credit that you get as part of signing up for Whatnot using the links? And it also doubles your chance of winning the giveaway. And winners will be picked in a month. And on top of the already discounted prices on Whatnot, $15 off is huge. Thank you again to Whatnot for sponsoring this video and the giveaway, but let's get back to it.
The next mall we're going into is the Palmer Park Mall in Easton, Pennsylvania. This mall has just been on the decline for the past 50 years, just like the rest of the malls. This one though in particular has a lot of turnover with their anchor stores. They went from a Bon-Ton to a Boscov to now a Decor Home, and now it just looks like they're just promoting Snipes and the Verizon store as their 2 main stores. This mall does not have a lot of traffic. People are citing it as one of the most dead malls in the region, so we're going to go inside to investigate that right now. So the immediate reaction is that everything is here. It's actually very well lit. There's a lot of stores that look to be operating, but they're not all open yet, which is a little bit weird. It is like 11 o'clock right now, so maybe they're all starting to open. But yeah, nonetheless, I mean, there's not a lot of people in here for sure. And again, it's only been open, I think, for about an hour. It's definitely different than the other abandoned malls because it's dead, but it doesn't feel super dead. So let's look a little bit further. The main thing we're going to be looking for is just closures, because a lot of these places are just not open, but I don't know if that necessarily means they're closed, at least on a permanent level. I mean, you'll see the occasional empty kiosk here and there, but in general, this is just dead because there's not a lot of people in it. But the stores are very much open and lively. It's got good lighting, like I said. There's music playing. They have an arcade right here as well, so you know the kids are coming here to hang out. They have some interesting games here. I've never seen this before. One clip the end, $1 to play. Okay. Since this mall is otherwise pretty solid, maybe this could be the worst part about it. Let's see how responsive it is. What do I want? What do I want? What do I want? Ooh, this keychain. Oh, it's that precise? And I only get one. There's no way the pressure of that could even hit anything down. I think it's gonna like perfectly on that little dot area. Alright, well that was a complete waste of $1. Another closed kiosk. It's really like a plant growing out of the garbage here. You'd think you'd dress it up a bit more. A lot of jewelry stores are always open in dead malls. I don't know what the reason is for that. I don't know they like I guess because their ticket items are so high, so when you sell one it's good for rent for the month maybe. I don't know. So this is yours, Asian Gifts. You run this store? Alright, so in the Parker Place Mall, Asian Gifts. The best store for gifts? Alright, best store for gifts. Alright, cool. Alright, let's see what we got from Asian Gifts. Hey, what's up? We're gonna look around. Alright, I'm looking to buy something very Asian. So, what is the most Asian thing we can find here? What's the most Asian gift I can buy? Oh, Buddha. Yeah, maybe a Buddha. Oh, here we go. Tiny Buddhas. Tiny Buddhas. Oh, yeah. Oh, that looks fun, actually. What does this symbolize? luck? I'll take some good luck. $8. $8 discount? Asian gifts, we can negotiate here. I'll take it. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Great meeting you. Thank you. All right. Thank you. Bye. All right. Palmer Park Mall ended up being a success because we got lured into the Asian gift shop and we ended up getting a nice gift. And I got it for a discount, which is nice. It's just this good luck cat. That was a fun store. Cute little trinket that we get from it. Otherwise, though, I think the mall generally wasn't super dead. I mean, foot traffic wasn't high, but the way that we've been seeing earlier in this video with just a bunch of the conventionally closed stores and stuff, this certainly isn't that. Although I'm sure one day it will be. So overall, if this is your local mall, I'm sure you're not super disappointed, but I wouldn't hold your breath for too long because I'm sure this place probably has another 3 to 5 years, which is good. The next mall we're taking a look at is called the Classic Auto Mall. We're in Morgantown, Pennsylvania, and this one is different from the rest and actually quite interesting because it started off as a typical clothing outlet mall in the 80s to 2011. Then that mall went under. It turned into a furniture mall, so it had a lot of furniture outlets from 2011 to 2017. And then from 2017 onwards, after it was abandoned, a car enthusiast bought up this mall. And now apparently on the inside, you could shop for all these crazy cars. I know nothing about cars, so I'm excited to just kind of see it. But just from driving in, there's old military equipment. It's kind of crazy, even just the outside. So I'm excited to go inside. Who knows? Maybe we'll leave it in the car. Let's go inside. Okay, this place is massive. It goes all the way back with all these retro cars. They're in really great shape. And look here, this is literally the first car ever. Really excited to see what this is. I mean, as you can imagine, this used to be a mall, so you can just see the Annie Ann, the Victoria's Secret, the Claire's just kind of stacked up. But nowadays, of course, there's just cars everywhere. I've never seen anything like this. If you guys have been to an auto mall before, let me know. This is a very new concept to me. I didn't think these existed. This is not dead at all. This is an extremely lively place. People are just looking around, appreciating the cars. I think you can sell cars as well. Let's look a little bit further and see what's happening. I think this is called a spoiler that they put on cars.
Oh no, the spoilers. The thing on the tag.
Okay, that's the motor. So this is my honest thoughts for every car. I'm gonna actually say what I think it is. Chevy Mustang, Ford Bronco, Cadillac GTX. Okay, Chevy Camaro. I gotta cheat a little bit for this one. What is this?
It's a Black Panther.
Black Panther. The Black Panther is mazga. Alright, so we're getting to the middle of the mall. So at one point, I'm sure this is just where the fountain was, maybe. So a couple of remnants from when it was a mall. You'll see the food court is right here. And I like how they kept it up. And then down there, you can see the Holiday Inn. And what's cool is that they actually turned the food court into a little bit of a food hall. So I think you could actually eat in here because it says food court and lounge available for car club meetings. Based on the color scheme, green, white, and red, it was probably a pizzeria, some sort of Italian restaurant. I guess could be Mexican food as well, but I think this is probably a pizza joint. But this is a refurbished food court that now has this really old recessed lighting, but it's nice and it's themed around the entire auto mall. This staged furniture is also so strange. It's like they're in a living room basically. It's so weird.
Kind of liminal space.
Yeah, this is peak liminal space in here. That's cute. They have these little cars in the middle of each table. And then right across from the food court, you'll see Sofa America. Because as mentioned before, this was an auto mall. It was a furniture store. Before that, it was a clothing mall. This is a really cool car. I don't know if you can buy this. It's like what the Boy Scouts build. They two races. Kind of makes me want to own an old car just to have this in the garage. This might be my favorite car yet because I have no idea how to describe this. It looks like it shouldn't exist. It has such a small space to sit in and it has such a huge front like an alligator. Also the color and everything, the way that the wheels are. This is called a 1997 Plymouth Prowler convertible. It's $35,000. I highly recommend coming here. This is a lot of fun to just walk around in. Even somebody who's not a car enthusiast, I definitely appreciate what they're doing here. I love how they just converted the mall into an auto mall. Very unique. This car caught my eye because of how much space is on the front seat. It's called a Plymouth Belvedere, and there's an entire bench for you to sit in. You could probably get 3 people there, 4 people back here. This is a 7-seater disguised as a 5-seater sedan, and also it's very long in the back, like the trunk space. Looks like you could fit a couple bodies. Not that you should, but you could easily fit a couple bodies in there. This might be the longest car I've ever seen. It says long as a Ford F-150. It's pretty obvious based on the amount of size we have in there and in the front. This is a really cool car. This is called the Morgantown. Oh, it's sold actually. We were kidding. I guess it was actually for sale. So that was a Classic Auto Mall. Really cool spot. I'm actually glad that the 2 malls prior were abandoned and died because I'm super happy this thing exists. Who knows? Maybe for an upcoming video, I'll come back here and actually purchase one of these cars. If this video gets 10 million views, then I'll use some of the AdSense to put it towards the car. So it's up to you guys. Even though you're already in the video, so your views are already being counted, there's nothing you can do, but maybe share it on your Facebook page or something, or that helps things out. Next mall. We're currently in Wilmington, Delaware at the Concord Mall. This mall at one point was a staple, as all these malls are, local community, but ever since a lot of things happened, like the anchor stores going away, vacancies coming into place, COVID, and a bunch of other things, including to shootings and other bad events that have happened in this mall, the mall has been falling apart. So let's go inside and see what the state of things look like in this dead mall. Generally, all the Sears we see at these malls are completely abandoned. There's obviously nothing inside of them. The signs are usually even falling off. But at this one, actually, Spirit Halloween seems to have moved in. I don't know if they're officially in yet, but most of the time when you see a Sears, it's empty. So we're gonna see if we can go inside, because it would be cool to see a Sears by Spirit Halloween crossover that potentially may be happening here in Delaware. Alright, just approaching the door, it's not looking great just because it says FedEx/UPS, please come in. We are neither of those parties, but nonetheless, I'm going to go in and inquire, or not. I mean, there seems to be a functioning Spirit Halloween in there. So I guess it is not open yet, so today's date, we're looking at, it's like mid-September right now. Maybe they're opening October 1st, they're just gearing up for it. But nonetheless, it is cool to see some repurposing of the space. That's what you should be doing realistically. You have a massive lot of these anchor stores that are now closed. At least the Concord Mall is doing the right thing by renting out certain spaces to the right parties. This is not looking too good. Well, it's good for a dead mall, but there's not a lot going on. They do have some beautiful trees here, like we're in SoCal, Miami. They have to be fake there, right? So here's the Sears, which is apparently turning into a Spirit Halloween. Let's fact check that though. So if we do look inside here, do we see any sign of Spirit? Oh yes, you can kind of see the Spirit. It is taking a little segment of the store. So out of all Sears that we've seen so far, this one is in the best shape. It looks like they kept a lot of the different equipment and some of the storage and furniture that you would typically see inside of the Sears. So not a lot of people in this mall, kind of similar to some other malls. The main people here are just people who are kind of walking and just using the space as like an indoor traffic. We'll certainly monitor if there's any stores that are open, but this mall definitely fits the bill of a dead mall because not a lot of people, not a lot of stores, nothing of interest, no real reason to come here, honestly. Even they closed down Spencer's, and usually those stores were like cockroaches, so that is a really bad sign. I love that there's just a random door. It's like a door you'd see at a home. This feels so especially dead. I think my favorite genre of anything abandoned is when there's like old 80s, 90s music playing and then just nobody's here. It really gives that retro feel, like you're kind of stuck in a time capsule. But yet, of course, what's a dead mall without the recliners? I'm so tired of sitting in those though. We see who tried to take over the Hot Topic demo, cool topic, but looks like they closed their doors as well. I don't know what the theme of this mall is, but it must be something having to do with trees and the outdoors. It's working though, I'm feeling good. Alright, so we do have a Victoria's Secret and a Foot Locker. So maybe those are the two stores kind of holding things down. We're in another wing in the mall now, more of the same. Oh, so the Macy's, which is the only remaining anchor store in this mall, is up and running. But even the Macy's does not look to have anybody in it from far. We're not gonna go inside, but just know that there's nobody even in the anchor store. This one is especially dead, because usually at least you'll have like a cohort of people who are congregating around the anchor stores, but nothing here. Alright guys, that's Concord Mall in Wilmington, Delaware. Obviously not too much going on in there. I think the most interesting thing is the Spirit Halloween getting into Sears. If I was Sears and I was advising you, I would say that you should definitely try to get some of these seasonal retailers into your spots. Nonetheless though, obviously a dying mall. I mean, the parking lot is barren. There's not really much going on here outside of a couple of stores here and there. But you even have a Claire's up with the Spencer's. You know things are going pretty badly. Next mall. Next mall we're looking at is Berkshire Mall in Pennsylvania. We're in the middle of nowhere at this point, and this mall is just terrible. There's construction happening, probably around 80% of it. So there's just a single parking lot that you could park in front of. There's a Spirit Halloween next door, notably. Like that's a big trend because we're doing this in September, October. So Spirit Halloween must be looking at maybe the dead mall videos and just figuring out, hey, we can maybe take over this anchor store. But anyways, there's no clear entrance. I think you have to like sneak around all of this like fencing and everything. So I don't even know if we're gonna be entering the back rooms of the mall entrance there. Let's go ahead and go inside. There's been a lot of lore around this place as well. Like apparently a woman fell in a fountain and then she sued the mall. Apparently every single store inside with the exception of 3 or 4 are closed. I don't know why there's even people coming in and out. I'm very intrigued about this place. So let's go ahead and see what it's all about. So this is the entrance to the mall. No parking. They say there's construction going on, but there's nothing happening behind here. No trespassing either. I don't know what they're hiding there. But here's the actual entrance to the mall. No wonder nobody's going here. It's like, how do you know that this is a mall? Very retro 90s vibes. The color, the tile of the floor here. And I think they actually have a working elevator, which is the first one in a while. So let's go in this. This will be a nice start to things. Please work, please work, please work. I think it works. Closing very slowly. Alright, so we are either going to be stuck in here or we're going to go to the second floor. Oh, it's working. This looks like those places in dreams. Now that is dead mall 101 right there. Things are really shut down over here. They have black bags and tarps that are draped over everything. And then this is one of maybe 3 total restaurants it looks like. So they have a Ray's Pizza, they have hibachi, they have Chinese, and then they maybe have this up and running, although it looks like that's probably closed now. There's lights flickering literally everywhere, so I don't think management is really like tending to the light fixtures anymore. But I like the color of this place. I like the green retro with this sort of tile. It just smells and feels like very like 90s There's not much upstairs. I think it's just this little walk, so it's like a food court area. But downstairs, there looks to be more stores. So the upstairs part, there's really not much going on here. This is definitely dead, so I do approve of this. They have a cash for phones machine, instant cash for phones. It'll only take 7 minutes. So you submit your phones, and they give you cash. Find out what your device is worth. Okay, let's see. Because I'm getting. Got it. I don't need you to explain. I think if I put my phone in here, I don't trust that I'm gonna get it back. But I want to describe it. Let's see. All right, moment of truth. This is what my device they would give me in cash if I were to exchange it. Not gonna lie, I mean that's not great, but 418 is pretty much in line with what I would get if I just like submitted it to T-Mobile. I think I get $500 when I hand my phone in, so not bad. So they're taking like an $80 fee. Because they're just doing that. All right, let's go downstairs. They have really cool seats in this mall. It's like built into this area. I think they're seats, right? You probably sit in here. That's nice. And there's a lot of seating. And they have 4 of these pillars, so there's like 32 seats. Pretty comfortably put in here. Let's walk. If there's one thing that every dead mall has, it's a cotton candy kiosk in the middle of it. So I'm gonna actually do it for the first time ever. This looks fun. Quick to buy. Are you serious? $7.99 to get this? So these are all like Nintendo. Let's go Luigi. $8 for cotton candy, which is just to be clear, sponge sugar. All right, let's get ripped off here. Oh, okay, here we go. The machine is making cotton candy officially. Whoa. Whoa, what did this do? I don't know what's going on. I think it's ready though. It looks to be shaped like a mushroom, like a Nintendo mushroom. This is called the Luigi. This is what I'm about to show you here. Okay, and now I have my Luigi mushroom cotton candy in the dead mall of Berkshire Mall. I've gum in my mouth, so I'm gonna spit it out. I'll give it a taste, and we'll keep walking because there's nothing there. How are you supposed to eat cotton candy? Just like bite into it? I'm not positive I even just did anything. I think I just took a bite. I don't know why this is called Luigi. Nothing about this screams Luigi. It's blue, it's not green, and then the bottom of it's white. If anything, who's a character that's blue in Nintendo? I don't even think there's one. Maybe it's like a variation of Toad. Okay. Kind of fun. $8 though is crazy. I think this would probably cost them in raw materials 2 cents. So I don't think this is worth it. It is fun though, because if you're walking around a dead mall, what else are you supposed to do? If you go a bit further into the mall, there's just less and less, more closures here and there. Even the Dairy Queen Orange Julius is closed. We're getting to the Spirit Halloween though portion of the mall, so this is where I think it becomes more lively, hopefully inside of there. But yeah, this is about what you'd expect from a mall like this. Let's keep it moving. They have a whole arcade there. Arcades, I didn't realize are such a big thing in malls. People love their mall arcades. I've never been in a mall arcade, unironically or not for a video. So right outside the Spirit Halloween, you have this seating area that is quite unique. I think it's supposed to be a fountain. Oh, I think this is the fountain that's supposed to be on, but the woman sued for it. It's a nice area. If the fountain was on, this would be a really fun spot to just kind of hang out by. Because again, they have really clever seating at this mall. It's in these cubbies right here, and I guess maybe she was just like sitting here and fell in. I don't know how you fall into a fountain and why you would sue a mall for that. Because isn't it at your own risk to walk around these spots? But it's nice. It's kind of like they have like these little nice lights. I don't hate this mall. I think they have some really cool, clever design. I like the retro feel. I like the tile. I like that there's a Spirit Halloween, so they're making use of the anchor stores, so it's not just like a dead Sears or Macy's like we've been seeing. So everything looks good to me. Let's check out the other side of the mall. So here we have the other side of the mall. Kind of the same story. I mean, if you just look down, there's very few people just walking, and if they are, they're going towards the Boscovs and the anchor stores. There's a Route 21, which is closed. Looks like all their inventory is packed up. An arcade is closed here, and then more empty kiosks in the middle. Okay, so take back what I said. I think this is a
Do not wait until you have dry lips to start treatment. Once those get dry, they become even more sensitive.
Tackle home projects without. Only at Harbor Freight.
They have no idea who they're dealing with.
From rich chocolatey indulgence to fruity favorites and everything in between, Crumble's rotating menu has something for everyone. Nope.
is a fountain because one, it actually has water in it, and two, because it looks like maybe she was sitting here, fell backwards, maybe hit her head or something, had some like hospital bills to pay, and then ended up suing the mall. I wonder if they like lost so much money that that's part of the reason why the mall went under, because they couldn't invest in new things. But there's a Ruby Tuesdays as well, which is also a dying restaurant, so birds of a feather flock together. But that's this mall. Other than that, like pretty boring, not my favorite mall. I think any mall that doesn't have 2 strong floors is just kind of like a strip mall indoors to me, and that's what this place kind of gives. But otherwise, I guess pretty serene and peaceful if you want to just like walk around or something. But the parking lot, between everything happening there, some of the lore behind this place, it's just like whatever. There are a lot of stores open though. Like you you pass a Victoria's Secret, there's a Claire's, there's a GameStop, Foot Locker, all the usual suspects. Nothing more to see here though, so let's go to the next mall. The next dead mall we're going to be looking at is Montgomery Mall in North Wales, Pennsylvania. This one has a ton of negative Google reviews stating things like dead and empty. It's a real ghost town. Many stores closed or moved. Someone should put this place out of its misery. So sad. And it's right next to a Macy's backstage, which you actually don't see a lot. I think a Macy's backstage is like their outlet store, so maybe we'll pop in there to see what's going on. But this place does not look too good for North Wales, Pennsylvania. So if this is your local mall, it may be going down. But let's find out. It looks like they're opening a Dick's soon. Okay, well, you saw it go there. It looks like stuff is still popping up a little bit. And here's the inside. It does not smell very nice in here. It's a very weird layout as well. When you walk in, there's like no center area. It's kind of off to the right a little bit. They have an Amiens, they have a Verizon. We're about to get into the meat of it to see if this place is any good. So this is the center area. I think there's less than 5 people in here. So if we just flash the camera naturally down that way, you'll see that nobody is there. We could flash the camera to here and show that there's nobody there. And then there's a few people walking down this way. So I'd say in total, maybe like 4 or 5 people in this mall. It's actually kind of nice being like a completely dead mall, but it's still open. There's lights on and everything. There's a second floor and stuff. But a lot of the stores actually do seem to be closed now that I'm taking a better look. Like corner stores there. They have department stores that are closed behind here, which may be where the Dick's is going perhaps. And then down that direction, I don't see any activity. So let's take a walk around here. Let's see if we can find anything interesting and explore this mall a little bit. This boutique store has 2 mannequins that just look like they're asking to be saved. They're just frozen in time forever in here. A little bit sad to see. I feel like every dead mall has the same exact elevator. I want to see if it works. We are, I think, throughout these dead mall videos, 1 for 2 with them working. We're gonna give this a go. Oh. Alright, it's working. This one actually is like the most spacious as well. Because I think this mall is pretty modern. It doesn't look like it was designed in the 90s, just based on the tiles, based on stainless steel being used in some of the appliances. But before we walk around downstairs, let's just check upstairs while we're here. Maybe we'll see more people. So, moment of truth. So I see a total of 2 people there. Literally nothing is over here. Let's take a look in this area. Now it says that, who's laughing? Oh, like what, are there kids here? It's just on the school bus. Down there you'll see the kids center. I would go in, but there's a caution tape sign there. But then other than that, sorry. Oh. Okay, so she just told us no filming, so I think that means they're a little bit self-conscious about their mall failing. Sad to see. I mean, you would think that like highlighting the mall would bring some people to it, but they don't want to do that, I guess. So let's take another quick gander and then we'll get out of here. But this is just another dead mall. Nothing's open here. There's not much more to see. If there's anything interesting, we'll take a look around, but for the most part, this is it. We don't got a backpack to put it in. We don't have like a backpack to anymore. Oh, you can't even see it? Oh, okay. Alright guys, so as you just saw, we got kicked out for filming. She was fine, she was nice about it. She just said that like there's commercial repercussions sometimes for people putting these types of videos on YouTube. So I don't know if she maybe saw the Dead Malls video we did previously, but guess what? Montgomery Mall is going to be in this part too. So overall, I mean, this mall is certainly dead. There's not a lot going on, and they definitely have an ego around things because they're kicking people out or even filming because I guess it brings negative attention. But that's the attention that the place just has. This is just what it looks like. I don't think we're saying anything particularly negative or untrue. We're just showing you what it looks like. Nonetheless, though, always want to comply. We don't want to trespass. People tell us not to film. We don't film or anything. But I mean, you guys saw it. That's what the mall looks like. We weren't like drumming things up or anything. The mall's trash at the end of the day. It's dying. It's sad to see for sure. I don't want people to lose their jobs that work security there, for instance. But that's Montgomery Mall. So let's move on to the next one. The next dead mall that we're looking into is Nesha Mini Mall in Bensalem, Pennsylvania. This mall was actually just put up for sale, I think, recently, but then it was sold to another company and they demolished, I think, half of the mall. So inside of there, we're only going to see a couple of accessible areas. We'll still try to see what we can access. I mean, some of the main stores that they're promoting are like ones that you wouldn't expect to be on there, like Bath and Body Works and then something called Shoe Carnival, which I've never heard of. So clearly they seem to be suffering a little bit. Even their Verizon store has like a little fake banner going up. Not a lot of signs of life here, so let's go inside. And I'm really excited to see this one because apparently all the reviews say you can't even go into half of the mall. So whatever that means, we're about to find out. We haven't even gotten inside yet, but just from looking through the glass, I can tell this might be one of the most dead ones yet. Oh my gosh. Okay, so you enter to the food court. Caution tape everywhere there. It's really crazy how many dead malls there are when you think of it. Like we've done this like the 15th mall, and they're all like this. This is just malls in general. I'm convinced you can go to any mall and it would kind of look like this. Like, nothing is here. They emptied out this entire place. Look down here. Literally nobody here. So as you can clearly see, there's nobody here, but if you go all the way to the end, it looks like there's gonna be a fake wall. So I want to look into that a little bit. I don't know if it's like the entrance to a store or if it's just a painted on wall or wall wallpaper. Let's go investigate that a little bit. I think they're trying to make the mall seem like bigger so that maybe you don't notice that it's closing, but it's pretty self-evident here. I'm noticing an increased security presence at a lot of these malls. Not even kidding, I think it's because they may have seen the first video and now everyone's on notice because they don't want their malls to look terrible. But look at this. This is like actually a 3D wall. It's actually a hard wall, so it's not just like some draping of wallpaper or anything. It's like actually on the wall. There's even a door right here. Locked. These are the most randomly placed benches just in the middle of the mall with nothing around them, no trees, no potted plants or anything, no kiosks, not even a backrest or anything either. I think these are probably going to be removed soon. I just sit down in front of this dead Hollister. We've been seeing a lot of dead Hollisters in these videos. Something about like a mall and Hollister, I guess, just doesn't mesh well together. I've actually seen somebody wear Hollister in a long time though. They're probably getting beat out by Abercrombie or something, but they're very iconic storefronts. Alright, let's put in construction though, because that's the big draw of this place. There's the Bath and Body Works, which is apparently the #1 store when you're coming into Neshimini Mall. Maybe because it's one of 5 stores that are open and everything we're passing is closed down. Here's a kiosk in the middle with nothing there, nothing to show for it. So this is the back wing of the mall. So this is where the Barnes and Noble is, and then, oh. Alright, so I think we found the secret area that was undergoing perhaps construction, and now it is just another back room of the mall that we're exploring now. So the AMC is this way, so I don't know if it's still operating. I'm assuming not, just based on everything. I guess we'll find out. So let's walk around this a little bit. There's like a toy or machine or vending machine at the very end. I wonder what this part of the mall is used for though. It's just like a really tiny section. None of these stores are open. There's nothing you can find here. Oh, that's actually a door. Why did I think it was a vending machine or a toy machine?
What is that? Yeah, that's trippy.
I think that's the entrance to the AMC. It is. I see the AMC sign. So I guess you could go in there. This surely must be the part they're talking about. They said it was inaccessible, but this is the one spot that's kind of a little bit interesting. That is a big door. So this whole section just acts as a hallway into the movie theater, but it's weird just seeing the tiny door at the end. It looks like Truman Show-esque at the end. I don't want to spoil it for anybody. And again, you still have that one sole bench just there. So there's something about benches that this place loves, just randomly putting them in the middle of certain sections. There's also a weird part right there and a door that looks like it's the opening to a house. Let's go see if there's anybody inside here. It's locked. I'm gonna walk through here. It's like not even the AMC. They weirdly have massage chairs outside of the movie theater here. I don't think I've ever seen these just in public next to benches. I would not put my face in this, but I imagine as like kids are playing or going to the movies, if you have to like sign them into a rated R movie, the parents come out here and they just work on each other. That's it. That hallway is very cool. Outside of that, Neshimini Mall is obviously very dead. It's pretty cool to explore though. So overall, a good amount of things to do here. It doesn't have a second floor and it has a lot of like fake hallways and doors and like wallpaper that makes you think that there's things going on when there's not. And then they do have a pretty massive AMC, it looks like. So there's still some signs of life here, but overall, Neshimini Mall in Bensalem, Pennsylvania is certainly a dead and obviously abandoned / construction-ridden mall. Next mall we're at is Whitehall Mall in Whitehall, Pennsylvania, and this mall is just surrounded by a lot of dead anchor stores. We have Bye Bye Baby over there, Bed Bath & Beyond, which is completely extinct across the globe, and then even just like some empty space here. There's even a Spirit Halloween around this mall, and you know this mall is dead because it's anchored by Kohl's. Kohl's is the mega store holding this mall together, but per all the recent Google reviews, literally everybody calls this a dead mall, but they say it's quite charming because it's one of those dead malls that is so dead that they want to preserve it in like the National Dead Mall Museum, because this place apparently on the inside has that like nice retro feel. So I'm very excited about this one. I think it's going to be a good one. And so without further ado, let's go inside. Immediately, you feel like echo when you talk. There's a clock up there. I don't think that's accurate. Wow, when you talk, it's just crazy. Just all the echo and stuff. All the stores open here. We have Comic Masters, and then this might be closed Bella Bridal, Nail Salon, and then the Kohl's at the back. So the mall's not very big. There's maybe a total of 8 stores, 4 of them open. The upstairs is notably cut off. It says no trespassing, so I think they've seized the upstairs completely at this point. The hall up there is like the most echoey area that I've ever been in. It's like when you talk, you really feel like your voice reverberating across the walls and just like through this whole place. So it's a very interesting dead mall. Again, very small, but very dead. Reminds me of that Atlantic City mall we went to, where there was just like nothing there. It was kind of dark. It just felt like we weren't supposed to be here. This is the same vibe. Even like the chains, like it just doesn't look modern either. Yeah, so here's the Kohl's, the anchor store, Kohl's and Sephora. That's all you're gonna get here. Even that pizzeria looks to be closed. This mall is so dead that I'm able to just jump the furniture. So I'm gonna jump this bench right here, hopefully. That's Whitehall Mall. Not a lot to do in there. All the stores are closed with the exception of a comic book store. There's like a dog groomer, and then I think maybe sometimes, but nonetheless, not a mall that you would certainly go to really for anything. There's never a good reason to go to that mall. They do have a Spirit Halloween, so if you're going to be at the strip mall, this would be the reason why to go pick up your Halloween costume. I think the reason why this mall also died is because literally right across from this is the Lehigh Valley Mall, I believe it's called, and that is a really nice Simon Mall. They have everything around it. They have like a Shake Shack, they had a Chick-fil-A, and I'm sure inside they have all the stores. So Whitehall, they were left with nothing besides a Kohl's. I don't know anybody who goes to Kohl's, honestly, and Kohl's is probably going to be the next one that's bankrupt, let's be real. But this mall is junk. Let's move on to the next one.
The mall we're at right now is called Franklin Mall. It's in Franklin Mills, Pennsylvania, which I believe is right outside of Philadelphia. This mall, I think out of every mall I've been to so far, including the first video, has the largest ratio of vacant lot to people in it. There's probably like 1% of the total lot area filled. There's less than maybe like 20 cars right in front of me. Definitely seems dead. All the reviews say it's very dead as well. So let's go inside. They also have a really weird mall entry as their entrance. So it doesn't say welcome to Franklin Mall or anything fun like that. It's just mall entry, which is kind of funny. So let's go ahead. All right, so we're inside the mall now. This is what the Franklin Malls looks like on the inside. There's just a random circular carpet here, just right in the center, which is kind of strange with no seating or anything. There's a couple ways we can go, so we're gonna walk through this. I do notice a Spirit Halloween, I believe, is open here. And of course, Spirit Halloween only goes where there are dead locations where they can just pop up for seasonality. But let's go ahead and head down here. I think this is gonna be a fun time to explore because it's a very big spot and not a lot of stuff in it. So outside of your random kiosks that are open and then like some mini mouse machines and some photo booths, there's really not much going on here. You have a Champs there that's available. Like, what is like the way that they put their seats? There's just 4 massage chairs, not even grouped together, and then there's more massage chairs. Otherwise, there's no public seating, just that, and then all these little like areas have circular carpeted rugs, which makes no sense. The lights are still on, so this isn't fully abandoned or anything, but it's definitely deserted and dead. And if we walk down there, there seems to be a lot of stores ranging from a Ralph Lauren factory to Gap outlets to even Victoria's Secret. So let's see what they got. The structure of this mall is very strange. You have this like first floor with hardwood, and then you go into this transitional area with carpet, and then it goes and the storefronts start to become a little bit different. Looks like they should be outdoor storefronts, not indoor storefronts like the Bath and Body Works, the Ralph Lauren. All right, so let's keep it moving. Here's a big store that seems to have shut down, maybe a Forever 21 or something in there. It would be nice to try to access one of these. Let's see if we can find any entry points, because I really want to get into one of these dead stores, so that's going to be the goal of this mall. If we could find a spot that we can infiltrate, get in, and see what's going on. Imagine that just open right there. That'd be a lot of fun. So I think this mall is undergoing some renovation. It says style evolution in progress. Also